Hey, welcome to our Author's Spotlight. This month is pretty special. We're looking at 6 absolute legends of literature who, get this, all share a March birthday. We're going to dig into their incredible journeys and pull out some real, practical lessons for any of you out there who are grinding away on your own stories. And hey, a quick shout out to Storywise for making this whole explainer possible. All right, let's get into it. You know the feeling, right? If you're a writer, you definitely do. That blinking cursor on a blank page, the crippling self-doubt, the rewrites that never seem to end. It can be a really tough, lonely road. But what if I told you that every single master you look up to has been right there in that same frustrating spot? So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through the biggest challenges every writer runs into. We'll talk about rejection and how to build resilience, then the reality of juggling a day job, then the art of actually finding your own unique voice, and we'll wrap it all up with a masterclass full of advice straight from the masters themselves. Okay, first up, the big one, the hurdle that makes so many people quit before they even really get started: rejection. I know it feels so personal, it's a total confidence killer, but as we're about to see, it is an absolutely 100% necessary part of the journey. So what's with this number? 27. That is how many publishers flat out rejected Dr. Seuss's first children's book. You know the one. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. 27 rejections. And you think that's a lot? How about this number? 31. That's how many times the now unstoppable James Patterson got a no for his debut novel. We're talking about a guy who's sold over 300 million books. So what's the lesson here? It's simple. You just can't give up. And you know, success almost never happens overnight. Just like at Robert Frost, he sold his very first poem way back in 1894, but it took almost 20 years before he published his first book. He was 38 years old. He spent all that time farming and teaching, but he never ever quit writing. It just goes to show you, the road can be seriously long, but it is so worth the walk. But let's be real. What do you do before you get that big yes? How do you keep writing when you've still got to, pay rent? Well, welcome to the writer's double life. It's a serious balancing act between your day job and your dedication. Talk about discipline. Before he was a world-famous author, Khaled Hosseini was a doctor. And get this, he wrote his breakout novel, The Kite Runner, by getting up at 4 a.m. every single morning to write before he went to the clinic to see patients. He did that for years. And what about Dr. Seuss? Long before he was a household name, he was a commercial artist. I'm talking for 17 years. His main gig was drawing ads for Flit insect repellent. That slogan up there, it became one of the most famous catchphrases in America. And that day job, it didn't just pay the bills. It's where he perfected that amazing, whimsical style we all know and love. Okay, so you've survived rejection, you've carved out the time to write. Now comes the really hard part, the art. How do you find your unique story to tell? As the great John Updike put it, the goal is to give the mundane its due. Some writers find their voice by, bending reality a little bit. Take Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He looked at the complicated, often tragic history of his home country, Colombia, and he wove in myths and miracles. He created a style we now call magic realism, where things like ghosts or priests floating or even a rainstorm of yellow butterflies are treated as just normal. He took his reality and made it absolutely fantastic. But then you have John Updike, who did the complete opposite. He didn't need any magic. His whole mission was to look closely at the ordinary lives of suburban Americans, their little secrets, their quiet heartbreaks, their dreams, and to show how much beauty and drama was hiding right there in plain sight. He made the mundane fantastic. 2 completely different paths to finding a powerful, unique voice. And that brings us to my favorite part, a rapid-fire round of pure gold. This is actionable wisdom, right from the source. I mean, if you could actually sit down with these legends, what would they tell you? Well, let's find out. First up is Khaled Hosseini. His advice? Write for an audience of one. In other words, write for yourself. Forget what agents might think, or publishers, or even your mom. Just write the story that you feel you absolutely have to tell. That kind of authenticity, it's magnetic. People feel it. Gabriel Garcia Marquez was a huge believer that the best stories come from a place of truth. He basically told young writers to start with what you know, your own life. Whether it's a tiny memory from when you were a kid or a feeling that changed you forever, grounding your story in real experience gives it a power you just can't fake. This is such a gem from Robert Frost. For him, writing had to be a journey of discovery. Think about it. If you already know exactly how everything is going to turn out, if there are no surprises for you along the way, how on earth can you expect your reader to be surprised? You have to let the story lead you sometimes. And of course, from Dr. Seuss, a simple truth that we all need to hear again and again. Reading isn't just something you do on the side, it's the absolute foundation of writing. To be a good writer, you have to be a great reader. It's that simple. Every single book you pick up is another tool for your toolbox. And we have to end with this. From the very last book Dr. Seuss ever published, this is just a shot of pure motivation right to the heart. It's not a guarantee that it's going to be easy, not at all. But it is a promise that you have what it takes. So keep at it. Keep putting the words down. Look, these masters faced every obstacle you can imagine. Rejection, money problems, crippling self-doubt. And they kept going. They showed all of us that the journey is tough, but the work is absolutely worth it. So really, the only question left to ask is, what story will you tell?